So I'm going to break down this week's vlog into two different vlogs. This week we're going to talk about investment properties and some of the basics in finding investment properties, what to look for, what to be aware of, and definitely the things that you should steer clear of. Next week we're going to dig into the numbers. We'll get in the nitty-gritty of buying an investment property and what numbers to run, what to look for, and the financials of an investment property. So first of all, there are a lot of different things to look at when you're researching and getting ready to buy an investment property, especially your first property. So today let's talk about 10 very important to keep in mind. There are plenty of others that we're not going to talk about. So number one, you've heard all the time with real estate, it's location, location, location. And that's where we're going to start. I want you to check out the neighborhood. If you're not familiar with the neighborhood, do a little research, drive around. Look up prices of homes that have sold in the area. If I'm in the area that you're looking in, I can get you a lot of really good information off the back end, multiple listing service. Really detailed information that will help you in your decision making. If you're not familiar with the neighborhood, drive around a little bit. Take some time to check out the neighborhood and the homes. See if it's a neighborhood that's well taken care of. If the neighbors care about their landscaping and their yard and the look of their home, or if it's a neighborhood full of used car parts all over the lawn. That's going to give you a pretty good indication on whether the neighborhood's worth investing in. You could knock some doors, talk to neighbors, see how they feel about the neighborhood. There are a ton of different websites. You can find out information about properties, about neighborhoods, different cities. There's one that I'm going to put in the information below that talks about how close you are to transportation and to different amenities. It's a good website just to get started and to learn more about a certain area. So number two, my guess is that if you're researching the neighborhood, you'll get a pretty good idea of what it's like. It's pretty easy to drive through a neighborhood and determine whether or not it's a good area or a bad area. Some are easier than others, but you can tell plenty just from looking at the places that are around the property. There's also some really great websites online to look at crime rates, check sex offender registries. The last thing you want to do is buy an investment property that maybe has a neighbor that has a shady history or past. So number three is taxes. This is a big one because this is one of the bigger expenses you have. You can find this information on the county tax assessor's website. If it's listed on the multiple listing service, it's in there as well. But that's a big expense that comes out of your pocket. So you want to make sure that those numbers make sense. There's some other good things too. You're going to want to look at schools. There's great websites to show schools, and I'm going to include those down below as well. But that's really important to people as they look for a place to live. They want to make sure that they're in good schools. So number five, this one's really important. Once this property is yours, if it's not currently rented, you have to go out and find some new tenants, and you're going to want to do that fast. So to avoid problems once the property is yours, do a little due diligence and research beforehand on vacancy rates in the area. Make sure that there's not a lot of rentals in the area that are for rent. That may be an indication that there's too many rentals in the area. It's also going to give you a good idea on different prices. Number six, this really goes along closely with number five, but check out what the current rents are. And there's a couple different websites that I use here in Utah to figure that out in different ways, but you can basically look at whatever websites are in your area and find out what rents are and what things are currently renting. I'm going to include some websites that I use down below. I look at different rentals, see what's available right now. I try and find things that are similar to what I'm renting, and that really helps me figure out what the going rate is. It's really good for a landlord and property manager to consistently be checking these websites so you're constantly aware of what the rental market is. Number seven, this is one a lot of people don't think about, but you want to check future development. So please, please, please make sure you go to this city, get their 5-year plan or their 10-year plan on the roads. You want to make sure that the road right next to you or the road a block away isn't going to be a major thoroughway at some point, because that's really going to hurt the values of your property. Number 8, when you start to look for investment properties, if you're looking for single family homes, look for properties that have a minimum of 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, mostly because they're easier to sell later on down the road, and they're also easier to rent and typically rent for more. Number 9. 9 and 10 go hand in hand. Check the expenses that you're going to have. Make sure the roof, the furnace, the AC, the big expenses have already been taken care of, or that they have life in them, so you're not going to have to do that right away. It's easy to have a professional come look at them. They can give you a really good idea on the life expectancy, how often they've been serviced, if they've been serviced and taken care of, but that can save you a lot of money down the road. And number 10. If you can find a place that's had upgrades, significant upgrades, so kitchens, bathrooms, roofs, furnace, AC, water heater, those types of items, the big ticket items. Look at it this way. Let's say your property makes $200 a month and you have to replace a hot water heater or a furnace and it costs you $2,000. Well, that expense just cost you 10 months of profit. Ouch. These are just a few things you need to look for when finding an investment property. I have investment properties. I manage a lot of investment properties. So I've got a lot of experience. I'm happy to help you answer questions, walk you through the process. Give me a call, ask me questions, let me work for you. I want to help you make a smart real estate decision. Real estate investing can be one of the most profitable, lucrative investments that you make. But if you don't know what you're doing, it can be one of the biggest financial mistakes of your life. Let me share some of the things I've learned and some of the pitfalls that I've already taken. I would love to help you find an investment property and build your financial wealth through investments. If you want to see more, you can subscribe down below. You can like my video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.